Hi, folks. How are we doing? We're live. It's Thursday, thank goodness. I can see Simon is here. Nice and up duck. I can see the lovely Naomi is here. Um, it's just me and Simon and Naomi for now. It's lovely to see you. I've got a wee cheeky. I think this is whiskey. It's a kind of a cherry flavoured whiskey. I don't like cherries, and I also am not really too keen on whiskey, but this is really nice with this Coke. Um, oh, Jumping Spider 66, John is here. Hi there, how you doing? And Donna, Naomi is not doing too bad. Hope you're well. I'm well, Naomi. I'm glad that it's the weekend. It's been a long week. But what can you do? I get a 3-day weekend, so I can't really complain. You made alcoholic cherry coke. Yeah, see, I don't like cherry coke. I've never tasted cherry coke because I don't like cherries. So yeah, maybe it does taste like cherry coke. I don't know. Um, oh hey Deanne, how are you? Um, yeah, it's quite a warm day. Quite stuffy today. So I thought I would have a cold drink rather than making like a cup of tea or something. Plus, I've annoyingly run out of milk. I can only take tea with cow's milk. I have coffee. I can have coffee and cereal and everything else with oat milk, but for tea, it's got to be cow's milk, unfortunately. Um, and we've just run out. But I do the food shop on a Friday morning, so it's all good. I'll get some tomorrow. But yeah, um, never tasted cherry coke. Unsubscribed. I'm not a fan of cherry, Simon. Like as a flavour. Um, and yeah, I don't know what it is, but I don't know why I'm drinking that. I just was in the mood for it and didn't care much that it tasted like or that it's cherry flavoured. I don't know. My brain is fried. I'm going to put this out there now. My brain is completely fried. If you're expecting like total sense out of me today, then you might be disappointed. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how the evening goes. Um, just doing the usual today. I've got a deck to share from the Total Tarot. I've got a spread, which is actually from it's actually one of Marion's spreads from the Esoterical. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Esoterical magazine from the last one. Uh, I can't remember which one we did before actually. So, or if we even did one before. I don't know. But anyway, I've got one of them. It's a wee 5 card spread. Thought it'd be fun. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. Oh, Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. Debbie from Aquarius. Lovely to see you both. Hope you've both had a good week. How has everybody's week been? Has everyone had a good week? Has anyone done anything exciting? Has anyone got anything nice to drink? Like me, or are we? I think lots of people are usually just drinking water, aren't they? Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Um, yeah, I've got a wee whiskey and coke, Nikki. Have you got anything nice to drink? Are you feeling better, by the way? I remember you were saying you weren't feeling great. Um, I hope you've fully recovered. Yeah, Naomi's got water. Simon's got coffee. Is it decaf coffee? I think you only drink decaf coffee. Is that right, Simon? Feeling a lot better now, back to normal. That's good. Sandra's got Pepsi Max. Um, Nikki's going to have a cup of coffee. Very nice. So, do you have decaf coffee at this time, Nikki, or are you fine just drinking caffeinated stuff at this time. Uh, John's got tea. Very nice. Good memory. You know me. I remember the most random things. Um, well, I'll actually just start showing this just now because you know what I'm like. I'm going to get sidetracked. I'm going to start talking about something random, um, like I did last week, and this will probably take ages. So I might as well get this. Let's start flipping through this, and if we get sidetracked, then it's fine because we're fine for time. I'm conscious that I've got a massive fuck off spot right in the old third eye chakra. Obviously, I've been sensing too much bullshit and my skin's reacted. So not very flattering looking, but hey ho, what can you do? Um, right. So yeah, this is Tarot of the New Vision, and if I'm understanding it right, I think we are seeing this from the other side of what it's like a Rider Waite Smith, but from the other side, if that makes any sense. So yeah, might be interesting. It's just looking at a big pile of weed. Spin this because I don't want it to, don't want the place to be a mess or any more of a mess than what it was this morning when I started work because my husband doesn't clean up after himself when he's using my desk. Let's zoom in. Tarot of the New Vision. Have you seen Penumbra Tarot? Is that Ethany's deck? I think I've seen it a few times, yeah. It probably will be Ethany's deck because I know that Cheryl started stocking them. I've kind of started looking through it. I think I need to. Have you done a walkthrough of it, Simon? Because if you've done a walkthrough of it, then that might be some fun watching for me for tomorrow when I'm in Costa enjoying my wee coffee before I do the shopping. Um, let's see. Do, 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 do. Need to get a drink. BRB says Donna. Nicky doesn't do decaf. I had a feeling you were going to say that. I don't even know why I thought you were going to say that. Let's see who can sidetrack him first. Oh, I see. That's why you mentioned Penumbra. How rude. I'm so predictable, aren't I? These are the backs of the cards, by the way. So, I mean, this is quite nice. It has the Knight of Cups on it. I don't know how I feel about that. Why? Why the Knight of Cups? Um, let's see. Oh, gorgeous Silverboy. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is pretty hard to miss, though. I mean, even you've got to admit, Deanne, like that is a massive fuck off spot. Um, see, Donna's went and got a whole garden. Very nice. Oh, there's Robin. Hi, Robin. How are you doing? Uh, it's such, it's such a child. I have a deck on its way from Cheryl. I have pre-ordered. I can't remember what it's called, but it's Anatolian's new oracle that Cheryl's that's available for pre-order on Oneness. The Pathwork Oracle. Is that it? I'm really excited for that to come. I think that'll be really good. It's right, so you've ordered it today. Um, see, so Kelly Bear do a walkthrough of Penumbra. Right. That's a good one for your next video, Robin. Weird tarot backs. And so you like it, you like Pan and the Green Man card. Nice. I'll look again when Simon does a walkthrough of it. Or, um, oh no, I was thinking of Sandra saying she's going to do a walkthrough of it, but no, you were saying Kelly Bear did one. I'll maybe watch Kelly Bears. The Magician, Magic Ian. Um, so it's interesting we see him with a crowd in front of him, which makes sense. The magician kind of draws in a crowd. He's kind of a performer. He's a very kind of a active and outward energy, whereas the high priestess, she's not performing for anyone. Although we've got these two creepy nuns hiding behind the pillars. What's that all about? Our empress. Oh, naked baby alert. The emperor. All right, okay. So the emperor's got a sculpture of himself on the back of his seat. Wow, conceited much? As has the Hierophant. I mean, I suppose I get like this is maybe because like if you just had the back of your seat, then how would you know? I don't know. I don't know. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about them being put in like that? The livers, oh, we bit of butt cheek action. It just looks like they're flashing all these animals, doesn't it? Let's see. My fingers were hovering all the way through, and then we got to that final card. Had to wait until payday though. Oh, I get paid tomorrow. Can't wait. Have the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot coming from Cheryl. Cosmic Wisdom does look nice. The only Ethony deck I've got is the Modern Love Tarot, but I feel a bit icky using that now that because the artist being a bit of a ball bag. Not a bit of a complete and utter. But yeah. Oh, who's that up in the hill? It's quite I was before I went live, I was kind of stuck on the first Prime Minister's questions with Keir Starmer. So for those of you that aren't in the UK and that don't know, I think it's every Wednesday, in the House of Commons, which is where our MPs, our members of Parliament, kind of congregate and do their business and stuff. They come together and everyone gets to ask questions of the Prime Minister. And the second question that was asked of him was about young trans people, and the MP who asked the question, who I believe is a Labour MP, had spoke about how, like, directly quoted a letter from someone in her constituency, a parent of a trans person, who's saying, "I'm really concerned about the something to do with the puberty blockers. I think they're being taken away or they're not available or something." And this was, from the genuine words from a parent who just wants their child to be okay. Do you know what I mean? And all she was asking was, will you at least commit to meeting with young trans people, their parents, organisations. Will you meet with them? Will you hear them out? That was the question, and he couldn't say yes. Um, no, I don't like talking politics on my channel. I don't really particularly enjoy talking politics at the best of times. But if there's one thing that I'm quite passionate about, it's trans. I was going to say equality, equity. Is that a better word? Um, and just that. I mean, it's not a surprise because he's made his stance clear on these issues, but still, it's quite disappointing when it was put to him in that way. You know, will you just meet with these people, hear them out, hear their concerns, and he couldn't commit to it. He couldn't say yeah. So anyway, uh, cosmic wisdom. Sandra's been careful with money too. Me too. I'm trying to be anyway. Oh, look at this weirdness that's happening in the moon card. Who's he? Who is he? Look at the birds flying through these towers as well. Really, really want the pink one. But I forgot the name. Pink one that Simon showed, but I forgot the name. Oh, Simon's saving for London. Oh, when you going to London? It's an Anthony Deck limited edition. Cheryl's stocking it. I ordered it a while ago. Just like pie in the middle. Oh, sorry, you're talking about the cards, and I'm going off on a fucking tangent about politics, or not even politics, but like MPs and like politicians. Yesterday, Vela called me a big butt cheek. Good time. Wow. Um, that's lovely, Deanne. um, the deck that must not be named. Yeah. Oh, here's Beth. Hi, Beth. Walked right in the middle of a rant from me. My apologies. Oh, more butt cheeks. Watched that too, Chris. Very civilized for a change. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I welcome it not being as performative and as just like fuck. I keep swearing, don't I? And I'm going to end up like I think you can't really do that on YouTube these days, can you? Um, yeah, I'm all for it being less performative and less like a bunch of like school children arguing in the playground. Don't get me wrong. Um, I think that's definitely needed. Tom's here. Hi, Tom. How you doing? Five of Chalices. I thought he did say he'd be open to meeting with them, so I'm open to being corrected if I'm wrong. If I've heard it wrong, then I will apologise. But I think what he said is that he would meet with her, with the MP who asked the question, and I think he might have said other ministers or something. But I don't think he said he would meet with, unless he'd commented on it further down the line, and I've just not watched that far. Or unless, of course, I picked him up wrong. But I think he said he would meet with the MP. He did not say he would meet with, um, with these young trans people, with their parents, with the actual people who are affected by this. And that's the issue. Do you know what I mean? Speak to the people that are affected by it. I'm all for things being led by science. Don't get me wrong. Like I did maths at uni. I'm a scientist at my core, but like you need to understand how these things are for the people involved. You know, otherwise, what's the point? It's not even politics. You know, politics is supposed to the meaning of it is supposed to be like, you know, looking out for the best interests of everyone. That's the whole point. If you're not even understanding the people, again, I'm on another soapbox, and I apologise. The kids behind the table are stealing all the food. That's quite funny. This is so awful and sad. Um, how can a conversation to understand what he clearly doesn't really understand hurt anything in the long run? Understanding only helps. Yeah, I totally agree. Yep, disappointing. If that guy on the moon is in armor, he's going to rust. Yeah, no, you're right. You will. Human rights or politics, really. Politics either help or hurt human rights. Or are not politics, sorry. Um, critical typo. Don't worry. Disappointing and totally unacceptable response by the MP. Really effed up. Trans rights, human rights, and trans people deserve um, health equality to just like everyone else. Yep, yep. Um, okay, yeah, may have misheard. So I might have misheard as well, though. Right, I'll be honest. If somebody wants to listen to it, it's the second question in. So the first person that asked the person that asked the first question, there's always question number one, which is like where you tell us what you've been doing this, what you've been up to, what's been going on, and then they get to ask their actual question, and then it's the person after that. I think it might be the person who's the youngest MP, although I could be wrong there. Um, See, they're not a game of the King of Cups. Like, don't. That's just a cop out. Like, don't just put him on the back of his seat. No, he just looks like a weirdo that's got himself in the back of his seat. Could you imagine if I turned round to get a deck and there's a big picture of my stupid face in the back of my seat? You still think I was weirder than what I am? Yeah. Yep. I agree. I agree. I said this when there was a big vote. Was it in Ireland, Northern Ireland? Can't remember. I, you know, in my lifetime, it's been here. Do you know what I mean? But when they talk about like gay marriage and everyone votes for it, and I'm like, look, why does this need to be put for a vote? Whether gay people have the right to get married? I, I just why? Like, why should some I don't know random person who's got oh I don't know I don't. But again, once again, I'm uh, I'm awful moany these days, aren't I? I feel as I was dead moany last week as well. That's okay. So that looks like the inside of the church. So there's people suffering on the inside as well. Is that what we're seeing there? Nice to all see you all for a few minutes. Heading out to work. Take care, everyone. Enjoy work, John. Have a good day. It was beautifully put. I saw something similar about the Prime Minister, and I thought he said someone from his team would meet with the trans kids, but he definitely didn't agree to meet them personally. I'll maybe need to listen to it again. Don't have to apologise too any Americans for ranting. We've essentially been on soapboxes since 2016. Yeah, those thrones with the figure sculpted into them are weird to me. Yeah, I agree, Donna. I very much agree. What deck is this? This is Tarot of the New Vision. This one here. Oops. Totally want to see another Chris behind you. It's just weird though, isn't it? It shouldn't matter. Love is love. Yeah, I just don't think it's something that needs to be voted on. It's just that if it's going to be people that vote on it, then just it should just be gay people that vote on it, i.e., the people that it affects. I suppose that's maybe where my point's coming in, and that's not in any way meant to be disrespectful to anyone who's not gay, because well, there's lots of people that aren't gay who I love and adore and I'm friends with and got lots of time for. Um, there's lots of people that are gay that just irritate me. Another one, he's got himself in the back of his seat. But if it if it needs to be put to a vote, then ask the people that it affects. Is my point, I guess. We're not going out and forcing, you know, straight guys to marry other guys. So it really doesn't affect them. Lots of birds. Lots of birds in this picture. And that's a face only a mother could love, isn't it? You seem more fired up this week. Politics and whiskey. Yeah, you're right. Uh, you bet a porn stash. It's a bit quieter this week. I wonder if that's my ranting that's kind of putting people off. Fair enough. To be fair, I wouldn't want to come into a live and listen to somebody ranting either, so I get it. 6 of Wands. Get some incense sticks burning because you seem stressed. I'm okay. I'm alright. Random angel. And those wands are a lot closer to the ground than, than what it looks like they are in the Smith Way, aren't they? Uh, Nothing turns me off a deck quicker than a porn stash. Um, that Three of Wands guy was a sketch. Random angel. It is though. It's a bit random, isn't it? Sometimes. Oh, hi, Chevy. Sometimes a rant is good for the soul. This is true. This is very true. Very true, Chevy. As precisely as what Tom says. Now, who's this character in the background? What? Okay, fair enough. She's carrying that torch away. Oh, she wants to be careful with that flame so near her hair. It looks like she's got a lot of hairspray in that thing. Knight of Wands. So, okay, so camels. Has anyone seen the film The Mummy? And if you have, do you remember the bit when they are, so it's when they're going back to Hamunaptra, and so O'Connell and Evie and Jonathan and their lot have got camels, and Benny, you know, the wee arsehole, Benny, he and his crowd of American, all the just gonna say the Americans, like so, it is though that's what the group that he's with are the Americans. They're not arseholes. I'll just clarify. They're certainly not arseholes because they're American. Um, just Benny's a bit of an arsehole. If you watch the film, you'll agree with me. Trust me. Anyway, Benny and the Americans, they have got horses. They got all the horses when the boat capsizes, and reckon that I've got to go and buy camels. So at first, it's like, aye. So the racing, that's the point. There's a race to Hamanaptra, and they do a bet on it. You know, whoever gets to Hamanaptra first gets whatever money. Um, so Benny and that think, oh, well, we've got the horses. You know, horses are much faster than camels, right? Um, because they're quite fiery, quite cocky, quite rushing in. Whereas Rick and Evie, as much as camels traditionally aren't as fast as horses, or at least I think that's the point that I'm making. I don't know how biologically true that is. Um, they win the race because they're obviously racing through the desert. Um, so camels are that's where they're used to being, whereas horses aren't. So yeah, that's what this reminds me of. So the Knight of Wands, he's fiery, he's cocky, he's like, very proud, and he probably would pick a horse in a desert because he's like, oh, that's going to be the best, that's going to be the fastest. Whereas a wee bit of wisdom, a wee bit of thought being put into it might tell him, actually, maybe I should use a camel instead. Yes, Marion, I'm talking about the mummy. Sandra even agrees that Benny is an arsehole, and Sandra never says a bad word about anyone. So there you go. It's official. It's as objectively true as you're ever going to get, folks. If Sandra thinks someone's an arsehole, then they are an arsehole. Uh, mm, Back of your seat. And she's got a wee old lady behind her seat. What's that all about? Oh, the King of Wands that's not him. He's got a young couple on the back of his seat. Random. Uh, that's what it looks like when an angel does DIY a fence in the backyard or some such. Indeed, you're on the wrong side of the river. Yep, that's the one. Ace of Swords. There's a wee guy on a horse. Simon's never. You've never seen The Mummy, really? I loved it when I was young. I remember when it came out, we got it in DVD. Sandra loves it. Right, Sandra, next time you go to visit Simon, you should force him to watch The Mummy. Oh, do you know what I watched? Was it last night? Yeah, last night I watched Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Netflix, the new one. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I need to tell my mum about it because I've got a feeling that's kind of a film she'll like. Uh, is it a 90s film? I think it might be late 90s, yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Or late 90s, early 2000s. Uh, I love The Mummy with Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. Yeah, if it's 1999, it explains a lot. Oh, Marion went on a first date to see it. Did you enjoy it, Marion? Both the date and the film? Come on, Sandra, who else? Also, um, oh, Clementia's Cards and Quests says, "Good heavens, what is going on here? I just popped on and people seem a bit worked up. Porn stash? Someone's an a-hole." Yeah, yeah, we're very passionate and here in the Elemental Cartomancy Thursday evening sipping slings. We like to get worked up about things, don't we? Um, but yeah, we were talking about Benny from The Mummy. Oh, hi, Marita. Lovely to see you. Oh, creepy person watching, just standing watching whilst this person's been stabbed to death. Maybe they're the person that's been inflicting the pain. Clouds are really nice, aren't they? It's deep purple colour. Simon enjoyed it too. Love that film, all the beautiful dresses. Yeah, yeah. I kind of expected, like, there was no big surprises, put it that way. I expected the thing to happen that happened in the end. Um, but yeah, it kind of it was like, I don't know, like Devil Wears Prada meets Pretty Woman meets, I don't know, just a nice wee feel good film. Almost, we're ending up with, oh, so he's got himself on the back of his seat, but there's like a random baby lying on the ground behind him. What's that all about? What is that about? Why is there a baby lying on the ground? Fucking random, by the way. I don't understand. Why? Ugh. Anyway, Marion, if you're still here, I'm planning on maybe using one of your spreads from the last historical magazine, if that's okay with you. I should have asked your permission first. Um, but yeah, one of your Jupiter spreads. Politics and whiskey is going on. Yeah, that's true. I've got to be whiskey and coke, Clementia. So the mummy has great effects. I enjoyed the mummy much more than the rest of the day. Oh, that's a disappointment. If you want to get worked up, this is the place to sling it. Yeah, true. I just get back from Scotland, so I guess I'll pour myself a wee drink and settle in for the spicy chat. Nice. Whereabouts in Scotland were you? Each sword was stabbed by a different culprit, says Donna. Is that in the 10? Only the one who inflicts the pain can take it away, says Madonna. Oh gosh, I hope that's not true. Solomon, the heir. Oh, is that the King of Swords? Is that why he's got a random baby in the back? Um, Leslie Manville is an awesome actress as well. That baby reminds me of the Voldemort scene in Harry Potter. Yeah, it's a bit creepy like that, isn't it? Or so if we're talking about the film, well, the film's all the book surely, but um, the scene uh, in the last film when he meets Dumbledore in the kind of a Heavenly King's Cross station, that more like the thing because he's actually lying on the ground there. It's an odd deck, but I kind of like it. It says, "Hi Jane, by the way." Random angels building fences, random babies left on the ground. This deck is disturbing. I agree. I agree. If I'm totally honest with you, I don't think it's one I'm going to be using anytime soon. And that's fine. We're happy with that. Please do, and no need to ask for permission. Oh, thank you very much. Very kind. To be fair, I didn't think you would mind, but it's nice to ask. Um, mm, have you seen Another Year? Me? If you're asking me, no, I've not. Haven't watched it. It's worth it. Oh, you and Naomi talking? Yeah, jumped in a bit late. Black Magic Society. Hi there. How you doing? Not sure if we've met before, but welcome if it's your first time here, and welcome even if it's not your first time here. Um, it is lovely to have you. Clementia says, I started in Glasgow. That's where I am. Then Oban, Iona, Highlands, Culloden, Craigorns, Inverness, St Andrews, Edinburgh. Now I want to get back for Orkney and Shetland. Oh, very nice. Well done you. You've seen more of Scotland than I have. Nikki says, not a lover of that deck. I think people are trying to um, reinvent new things with the RWS decks. Don't mess with the original. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I would broadly agree. I'm all for people trying new stuff, but I don't know. It gets. Do you know what? I don't want to speak ill of people. For some people, it will do something for them, and that's great. Um, but I guess I just kind of agree with you. There gets to a point where you're like, right, you stop messing with it now. It's it's fine the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, we are at 9:45. Will we pull some cards? What deck am I going to use? Now, there's a question. What deck am I going to use, folks? I know what deck I'm going to use. I'm going to use the Cat Aura Tarot. So, Malamir, if you're here, but you're just not really able to speak, then shout out to you. This is Malamir's beautiful deck, her latest deck, the Cat Aura Tarot. Um, so let's see what this spread has to tell us. So let me read out a bit about the spread first. And can we just take a wee second to admire that beautiful wee face? So it's the spin of the wheel one I'm going to look at, and it says here is a spread for when the wheel spins, and we need guidance and clarity on the cycles of nature, life, and the changes indicated by the Wheel of Fortune card. So this is all about those kind of natural changes that happen. We all go through cycles. Life is so volatile, particularly in this day and age when everything's so kind of a fast and constantly evolving. Things change all the time, and unfortunately, to a degree, that's something we just have to get used to. And we need to learn to evolve with it. Otherwise, we kind of get left behind in the past, and it's never really a good place to be, I don't think. So this spread, as I understand it, is designed to kind of help us through that and help us particularly in the times when we are struggling with the changes, it offers a bit of guidance. So, and if you want to see how the pattern was intended, how the lovely Marion intended this for us to lay it out. So 1 goes in the centre, 2 goes to its right, 3 goes to its left, and then to the right again with 4, and to the left again with 5. Um, Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. I was on the hunt for a Scottish deck, but didn't find. Yeah, to be honest, Clementia, there's nothing really. The only one that comes to mind is actually the James Bond tarot, but that's only because Fergus Hall, the chap who painted it, was Scottish. But yeah, there's not really that I'm aware of anyway. There's not really any proper like Scottish decks, which is a shame. But who knows? Maybe one of these days someone will design one. Oh yeah, we saw that. Sorry. Celtic is probably the closest you can get. Marion agrees with Nicky. Leave things be. The new Retina weight is going to be silver rather than the gold first edition. Retina weight. That's a beautiful deck. To be fair, that is really nice. When other images are added to the cards, it can then give more meanings, and this could get confusing and stray away from the original meanings. Yeah, I guess. I guess it can. I do sometimes like. I enjoy when people put their own spin on things, like when it adds something. You know, like we've talked about this before. Like when someone kind of changes up something about when they're making a traditional kind of a Smith weight deck, but then they change something up, and it starts you thinking, right, why have they done that? Why have they done that like that? It can sometimes be quite thought provoking and quite interesting. But there needs to be clear reasons behind it, I would say. Or not needs to be. Who am I to say it needs to be? But I prefer it when there are clear reasons behind it. Going next month to the Valhalla Ren Fair in Lake Tahoe. Says Black Magic Society. That sounds nice. You looking forward to it? A couple of popular Scottish creators. The Witch Sisters by Julia Jeffrey is full of Scottish witchcraft and lore. Oh, there you go. Shows how much I know. I need to look that up. Naomi's. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't even asking what people are using. So Naomi's using the Shadowland Tarot. Black Magic Society is always using the Hermetic Tarot. Very nice. Do you know what I would love to see? And this you might want to close your ears here. This might offend you, but I would love to see someone color the Hermetic Tarot in. Now, if I was going to do that, don't get me wrong, I would get I would get another copy of it and keep my version the way it was intended to be. But I think it could be really interesting to see that. Um, yeah, there's a couple of decks that I feel like that with. I have a new TDM I'm going to take for a spin. The Tarot de, so it's French, so Tarot de l'Incarnation. Incarnation. Is that how we would say that? Pulling cards tomorrow like I did last week. Karate is earlier now, says Deanne. Oh dear. Well, I hope it goes well. I can see it now. The Ace of Bagpipes, Two of Kilts, Three of Haggis. That's it, Robin. Marian's like, no. Ethereal Visions for Marita. Nice. Okay. So if you're pulling along with us, then let us know in the chat what deck you're using if you haven't already. Right, I'm going to stop talking for a bit so I can actually focus on this shuffle. Otherwise, I'm just going to feel like I've not put anything into it. Okay. Oh, work calls for Tom. That's okay. Tom, you enjoy the rest of your day, okay? I hope work goes in quickly for you. Colour and the Hermetic Tarot words fail me. I'm going to colour it in and I'm going to bring it and I'm going to show you. Zodiac Tarot and a tin again for Robin. She has a website and is on Etsy. Very nice. I'll need to check it out then. Rain Shadow Tarot for for Chivy. Um, Radiant Rider in the tin says Black Magic Society. Oh no, sorry. I love my Radiant Rider in the tin. Don't forget the prompt, says Robin. Okay, prompt number one. So, what is the current phase of the wheel that you're experiencing? Oh, the devil. So, number one, what is the current phase of the wheel? Should be a question mark in there if we were being proper, but never mind. Okay, let's have a wee look. So, in this devil card, we've got the wee cats. They're down here at the base of this tree. And there is an eagle here. So there's a sense of danger. Now the eagle's actually been distracted, it would seem, by this kind of these sparks, by this energy. Um, it looks like it's creating a fish. So there's a certain element of deception, but there's an element of danger about it. Just a feeling of vulnerability about the devil card in this deck. So that's how I'm going to choose to see this. Now, notice that there is a there's guiding lights, there is a path there, there is a way out. Um, it's not like you're totally alone. This is for me. It's not like I'm totally alone in the dark and there's no assistance. And there's kind of they're together. There's two of them together. They're not on their own. But nonetheless, there's still that sense of danger. There's going to be that reluctance to move because is the ego going to see them if they move and then go for them? Um, what's the best thing to do? Do we just stay here and stay still and hope that it never seizes, or do we try and make a run for it and risk it catching sight of us and getting us? Um, so really, kind of in a really difficult position, in a position that's probably quite um, susceptible to being led by fear and instinct. That's the devil card. So that's thought provoking for me, I have to say. What about you folks? What have you got? What do you think it means? So you're in the Ace of Cups. That's quite a nice phase to be in, Debbie. Kind of a renewed feelings of being inspired, being quite refreshed, joyful, happy, those kind of things. You'd also see the Ace of Cups. When it's talking about how you're relating to the other people. That was a strange noise in the background. So yeah, that's quite sweet. Donna's got the Three of Wands, so that feels like you're waiting for something to happen, Donna. That feels like you're in this stage of kind of just watching and waiting, feeling like you want to take action, but also feeling like you have to wait for the right time. As we said, this was the current phase of the wheel. The star for Marita, so that's quite nice. That suggests that you're actually in a place just now where you're maybe healing from some bullshit that's been going on. I'm just thinking about, you've got the tower before the star, and that's the difficult phase. The star is the like, right, okay, I'm starting to feel a bit better. I'm starting to heal. I'm starting to feel that hope again. And Kaz is here. Hi, Kaz. Lovely to see you. Um, see, Robin's got the Two of Wands. Just looking ahead once again, what's coming next creatively. Yeah, and um, I know I'm not. Did you tell us what deck you were using, Robin? Was it a Smith Waite? Oh no, it's the Zodiac Tarot in a tin. So I don't have the one in a tin, but I do have the Zodiac Tarot. It's going to be all shuffled up. But if it's anything like the traditional Two of Wands, then yeah, there's still that sense of kind of a watching, observing, waiting, but also they tend to kind of have some sort of plan in place, holding whether it's like holding the world in their hands or it's just like there's it's very kind of a I'm I'm planning what's going to happen next. Um, so that's quite nice. Marion says, "Can I just say how cool this is watching folks use a spread that I invented in real time?" That would be quite cool. Well, I'm happy to. We're happy to use it, um, and we're pleased that you invented it. Seven of Swords for Kaz. Okay, okay. So different people read that card differently. Lots of people see it as a card about deception. If you do, then that's maybe what it means for you. I tend to see it though as being more about um, creative thinking, thinking outside the box, looking for different ways to approach the issue. Um, that being, if that's the way that you would see it, then it might suggest that there's been an issue that you've been toiling with for a while, and you're starting to get into a place where you're like, right, let's think creatively here. Let's actually try and break this down and deal with this. Um, Naomi, you've got the Three of Swords. So again, that will really depend on the deck that you're looking at. But the Three of Swords can be a tough time to go through. It can be a tough card to deal with. Um, or it can be a card about learning and expanding your knowledge. Learning new things. But there was an expression. I think it was actually in Prince Harry's book Spare. That was oh gosh, I'm going to forget it now. It was to do with how like you know the truth is usually painful or something like that. There's a spin on like the truth hurts. Um, so yeah, like as much as the three is that creativity, that creation, and the swords are the mental suit. So the Three of Swords should be about expanding your knowledge, expanding your learning. Um, that can still be that kind of a painful thing that we see in the kind of a Solabusca style Three of Swords. Difficult to say is waiting on tests, right? Okay, okay. So I can totally understand how that could, how you could be feeling that Three of Swords kind of a way just now, though. The Eight of Skies using the Witch Sisters, so I'm taking it that's like the Eight of Swords. So maybe feeling a bit, well, you've just been travelling Scotland, so hopefully you're not feeling too trapped. Oh, Chevy, you've got the Devil as well, right? Okay, okay. So maybe you're feeling a bit similar to me with this. Ten of Cups for Nikki, that's quite sweet. Obviously, you've been well looked after when you've been not well, Nikki, and that's making you feel all Ten of Cupsy. Did I say cups or did I say swords when I read that out the first time? Can't remember. But Ten of Cups. Uh, Bobby wants to interview me on his channel, so I'll be a star for an hour. Do you know something, Marita? You always pull the star. Uh, it's not just me, is it? You always pull the star during these. I'm pretty sure you do. Because I feel like we always have this discussion because I always interpret the star in that kind of a healing, hopeful, like recovering from the tower. And then I think you always say you always think about it as well as that as being about this kind of a being in the limelight, being the star of the show type thing. Um, am I remembering that wrong, or do you pull that an inordinate amount of times? Tarot is my gateway to the arcane, says Black Magic Society. Nice. Oh, you're using the Rider Marseille. Nice. Is that Alejandro's one? Good first step. Halfway to my goal, says Donna. Nice. Spot on about the problem solving stuff. Oh, Beth's got to run. My pup needs to do his business. Enjoy the rest of the day or evening. Chris, don't lose the fire or fire for justice. So don't worry, Beth. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm still going to be a bit of a, still going to be whinging away when when you get back or when I see you next. Don't worry. Yeah, it's stalking me. I thought so. Funny, I disliked this version of the Devil in the Rain Shadow, but the guidebook is on point and I appreciate it more now. And yeah, it's Alejandro's deck. Okay, next position, so goes to the right, and it's the advice you need for embracing change and adapting to the wheels turning. Okay. So I've got the King of Pentacles. I'm just going to stick the prompt in the chat. So the advice you need for go. Okay. The King of Pentacles now. The King of Pentacles. So where the devil obviously like kind of a, to me, it spoke to this kind of a feeling of not being in control, of being led by fear and instinct and not kind of a reason and rationale. The King of Pentacles is like the complete opposite to that almost. The King of Pentacles is very kind of a methodical, very kind of a keeping your eye on everything that's going on, making informed decisions, and taking it as I suppose because his Pentacles is not just about decisions but actions, actions and like all for the better of the kingdom, really. Um, what's interesting about these two cards is they're both like kind of a Earth. 'Cause the devil's linked to Capricorn, um, and the King of I'm never very good at remembering what zodiac signs um, the courts linked to. Can't remember if the kings or the cardinals, which would be Capricorn. Let's see if I can find something quickly to tell me. The thing is, as well, everyone's got their own way for their own system for this. But when I'm doing timing, my King of Pentacles. Ugh, how annoying. My zodiac symbols have cut off the sides. Let's see. Aries, Taurus, uh, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So he's one part Leo, two parts Virgo, according to this system. So yeah. So it's not the same, but you know, you will have Capricorn energy in him just because depending on who you are and how you look at them, it'll align to different things. So Capricorn, well, you know that I'm not the best at astrology, so there'll be people in the chat that can help me out with what Capricorn means, and what Capricorn speaks to. I know that in the zodiac spreads, it's the tenth house. Um, Yep, 10th house, and that or 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and that's kind of about like reputation. Um, so yeah, it's interesting about how that comes up here because I suppose the thing that I had in my mind, as it always is work and career, because these are the things that are always bugging me. You know what I'm like. I'm going to zoom out because we're going to start needing more space soon. Right, let me stop talking about myself and have a look and see what you folks have got. So, Nikki, you got the Chariot. What was your first card, Nikki? Oh, yeah, the Ten of Cups, of course. And there you go there. So, Ten of Cups and then the Chariot. Um, so, advice for embracing change and adapting to the wheels turning. Okay, okay. So kind of a chariot is like keeping those horses, like you know, keeping an eye on everything and keeping everything kind of a ticking over. Not um letting. So for me, the whole point in the chariot is about um the different parts of the self. There's the white horse that represents the kind of the part of the self that wants to do the greater good and be the best person and all that kind of thing. And then the part of the self that's like looking out for society, that's unselfish. And then there's the dark horse that represents the kind of a more instinctual, um, the kind of the part of the self, the base instincts type thing. Um, and yeah, and you've got the kind of a free will in the middle, pointing them forward. So to me, it's often that's a card that talks about like balancing the different things in life that we've got to deal with in order to drive that chariot forwards. So how we deal with change, I suppose, could be about, you know, like how do we hang on to that happy place of the Ten of Cups whilst still kind of evolving and changing, and appreciating that things aren't, that to exist in a happy place isn't to kind of a try and keep things the same, constantly the same, and not let anything change. It's about appreciating the things that are changing and learning how to adapt with the stuff that's changing round about us. Am I saying that well? Not really. Oh, Debbie, you've got so Ace of Cups and then Ten of Cups. That's nice. Um, so oh yeah, right, yeah, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. So maybe that could be about like kind of a see because it's an Ace to a Ten. It could be about seeing things through. It could be about like that ace, that kind of a startup energy that you find yourself in right now. The advice might be to kind of a stick with that. You've got something that has a lot of potential there, maybe. Um, you know, the star and then the ace of swords. Um, so beginner mindset, I guess. Don't feel like you approach things with a beginner mindset, with a curious mind, and don't feel like you know it all. Otherwise, you might stop yourself from learning new things. Um, the moon for Donna. So you had the three of wands for your current phase, and then how to deal with changes the moon. So I think quite often what the moon is saying to us is don't. It's kind of a similar what I was saying before. Like don't like when things change, it's uncomfortable, it's unfamiliar, and there can be a temptation to try and drag things back to the way that they used to be. But and so, Sometimes that'll work for you, but sometimes things change for a reason, and we don't really have much control over it. Um, and sometimes the best thing to do is actually accept the change and to adapt, to learn to live in that new place. Um, and quite often, I feel like that's what the moon's saying. If you read what Chris Ann says about the moon in the guidebook for the Lightseers Tarot, it's quite good. Um, Judgment for Kaz. What was your first card, Kaz? Seven of Swords. Right, okay. So in that kind of a thinking outside the box phase, and then Judgment. So like being able to move on from things, perhaps. Not dwelling in the past. Um, Being able to call out all the bullshit, both your own and other people's. Do you know what I mean? And not dwell on it, not be ashamed, not hold grudges, just acknowledge it, do what needs to be done, learn the stuff that needs to be learned, and then draw a line in the sand and move on. Two of Wands, and then your Six of Cups. Take the emotional offerings of my past and use them moving forward, says Robin. Nice. Um, I think as well, like the value of simplicity. Six of Cups, you know, a certain way of looking at it is memory. It's memories of when we were younger and when it's often quite the small how the small things bring us joy. You know, the small things that can bring us joy. A gift, a tea party, you know, a friend building a sandcastle at the beach. Like, I'm just thinking about all the different depictions that I've seen of it. Um, so the value of simplicity and happiness doesn't have to be complex and complicated. Complex and complicated, are they not the same thing? Um, you know, like it starts with something simple. So yeah, like in terms of like the advice for how to deal with change, keep things simple. Don't, I suppose, don't try and like understand every single facet of what's going on. Like just keep things simple, deal with things one at a time. Yeah, Seven of Swords and then Judgment. Um, Princess of Pentacles. Switching to Druidcraft instead of Witch Sisters. So you had the Eight of Skies, didn't you, to start off with? Unless have you pulled another card, another first card with the Druidcraft, or are you just sticking with that Eight of Skies? Um, so Three of Swords and then Six of Cups as well. So keeping that close network of friends and family for support. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I have to accept I can't always know what's going to happen, says Donna. Simon's heading to bed because he's tired. It was lovely to see you, Simon. And I think we're live together next week, is that right? Because next week is the 1st of August. Can you believe it? Chevy had the devil, now the Six of Pentacles and the Tower. Okay, okay. Six of Pentacles and the Tower combined. It's funny. I saw, I don't know if it was a meet, it was on someone's story on Instagram, I think. It was something to do with how certain MPs have been suspended for like giving money to homeless folks, and I don't know how true that is. So I'm not saying that that's true. I was trying to fact check that, and I couldn't find anything. So I suspect that it might actually not be true. But what it makes me think of, and the reason that it's that Six of Pentacles and Tower combination also makes me think of it is sometimes doing the right thing and doing the kind thing can be quite controversial. Do you know what I mean? When it really shouldn't be. Um, and I think a lot of sometimes we need to, at the end of the day, stick by our morals, our own moral code, do what's right in and of ourselves, what what we know to be right in and of ourselves. Um, you know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, like if people are going to take it the wrong way, then to fuck with them. Who cares? That's up to them. Um, Particularly when you find yourself in a devil place. Like lots of like devil that the devil environment. It's a place of like being gaslit and things like that. It's not a pleasant environment to be in. Um, but I think that the advice there might be to kind of do what you feel is right. Stick by your own moral code. And Clementia sticking with the Nine of Skies, followed by the Princess of Pentacles. So it was the nine, sorry, rather than the eight. Sorry, I thought it was the eight. Okay, nice. Um, Next position is what opportunities may arise from the current phase. So what opportunities might arise from the current phase? So Queen of Swords for me. So let me just pop that in the chat. You can never please anyone. Sorry, you can never please everyone, so you might as well please yourself, says Marion. I like that. Okay. What opportunities may arise from the current phase? Queen of Swords for me. The Queens, to me, are teachers. They are, coaches, they're mentors, they help us. They help us understand things. Um, they're they're kind of got a low tolerance level for bullshit. But if you prove yourself, if you prove that you've got a curious mind and you're worthy, then the Queen of Swords will be one of the best people in your life. They will help you, through a lot of things. Their advice will be absolutely sound, and it will be based in fact and based in experience, rather than based in like um, I was going to say rather than based in emotion, and that makes it sound like I'm knocking the emotional side of things, which I'm not. I don't mean to, but I think sometimes when we're trying to look at things rationally and empirically, is that the word? Anyway, we're trying to look at things from that kind of a rational point of view. We need some of that Queen of Swords energy, and sometimes it helps to. So she has this way of taking the kind of a taking the emotion out of the situation to a degree, but still being able to empathize. Um, and still being able to connect with people because she's a queen. She still has that link to the water element. Um, so yeah, that's for me. So that might actually be me being a teacher, being a coach, because there is definitely that opportunity all around me right now. Um, but I guess it's just like how to get from here to here. I suppose that's the advice that this guy might be given. The King of Pentacles, just about kind of guess just keeping my nose clean, keeping all my ducks in a row, and you know making sure that I'm keeping things ticking over. Two of Cups for Nikki. Wow, that's a really lovey-dovey wee spread that you're pulling there, Nikki. So, what opportunities may arise from the current phase? So, really, kind of a strengthening that connection that you've got. Um, that could be connection to self, it could be connection to your partner, it could be connection to someone else, you know. But strengthening those bonds. Um, it could also like because a two is quite an early energy. So you know sometimes that can be a bit of a renewal, you know, renewing a bit of a spark. Um, I suppose you'll know more than me what you know how that might apply, but it's quite a nice wee spread you've got there. Let's see, Clementia's got the King of Swords. Nice. So from the Princess of Pentacles to the King of Swords. So from so your advice seems to be the so the Page of Pentacles. Is that what I said? The Page of Pentacles to the King of Swords. Um, so that to me is like potentially throwing yourself into something new, learning something new, taking on that kind of a student type. Uh, you know, if you've got an opportunity to start something new or learn something new, then yeah, yeah, and really appreciating the value in the physical work, I guess. Um, I think as well, like your first card was like a high up swords card, and whether it's the 8 or the 9, um, it's just saw Marian's comment. Sorry, whether it's the 8 or the 9, it's quite a difficult place to be, and I think what the page might be saying is like it's might be coming in with that kind of a simplicity, that kind of a right, you know how therapeutic it can be to kind of learn a new skill, to start something new, and this isn't something you're doing because you know because you've got any kind of a long-term plan in place, any plan to like make something big of it. It could just be about appreciating what you're doing for what it actually is. So I'm talking about things like I'm taking up hobbies, you know, like maybe like art or pottery or something where you're creating something. Pentacles we usually associate with the kind of a physical stuff. Um, And then you're kind of it's interesting that your opportunity is then the king, not just a king, so from a page to a king, but of swords. So we've gone from a very physical element to a very kind of a non-physical, like mental element. But both pentacles and swords are rooted in reality and rooted in kind of a what's sensible and what's rational and things like that, you know. So um yeah, interesting spread. Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, Two of Wands. Okay. So maybe the opportunity to plan a new direction. Um, Two of Wands, I always call it the building your portal card. So you're building your portal, that you're going to walk through. You're planning your next phase. Marita, right? Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles both. These are all getting two for the price of one here, eh? Everyone's pulling a Richie. That's what we're doing. We're pulling more cards as we go on. Um, I'm joking. I'm slagging him off, and he's not even here to defend himself. But if you've noticed Richie when he's doing reading lives, he starts off pulling the one card that he's allowed to pull, and then as the live goes on, he's pulling more and more cards. I always take the piss out of it. So yeah, the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles, they're both very kind of a hard-working, like understand the importance of having a good reputation, I guess. Um, So maybe that. So right, okay. So you looked at the start as you linked that to being interviewed on someone's channel. Um, the Ace of Swords could be a new opportunity that that presents you with, and then the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles. That so that could be good for just how you're seen. It could boost your profile, I guess, is what that might be saying. Oh, it's getting warm. Seven of Swords, Judgment, and then the Nine of Swords. Oof. Kaz, you're pulling some heavy hitting cards there. I've forgotten what the blooming prompt is. What opportunities may arise from the current phase? Okay, so the opportunity is the Nine of Swords. So that's quite an intense uh, energy to deal with. Um, I suppose if it's not dealt with in an effective way, then we can find ourselves in that place of, that anguish, that anxiety that we often associate with the Nine of Swords. But equally, on the other hand, if it's channeled in the right way, it can be quite a powerful tool. So um, that's quite like your Seven of Swords and then Judgment, very intense, and Nine of Swords, like that high mental energy. It's all very intense. So hoping that you'll get some lighter cards as the spread goes on. Sorry, I keep doing that. I keep hitting the microphone in my glass. Donna got Le Pendu, the Hanged Man. Getting a chance to slow down and contemplate things. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Ten of Swords for Robin. Oh, I don't think I saw your Five of Cups, Robin, did I? Two of Wands, and then your Five of Cups was how to deal with change, and then Ten of Swords is the opportunity. So moving ahead in strength and the knowledge one gains have experienced defeat. One gains having experienced defeat. Right, okay. It's nice. That's quite up. Oh, five. Do you know, I did comment on yours, but before I think I read it as the six. So yeah, sorry, Robin, if I've misread what you'd said. The Ace of Pentacles is the crystal ball in the hand. Um, in Shadowlands, right? Okay, okay. So your Three of Swords, Six of Cups, and then your opportunity is the Ace of Pentacles. Well, that is an opportunity card. It is a new opportunity, and it's something that can be, if it's nourished, it's a seed that if it's nourished, it can grow into something amazing. So I suppose that could mean that the opportunities are endless. There's no even any defined kind of it doesn't have a defined form yet. But pentacles can also be like about the material stuff in life. So there could be some sort of like financial gain coming up for you that you've not really foreseen. Who knows? Queen of Swords to the water element is called ice. Yeah. The Nine of Wands. Okay, so the opportunity maybe to build up strong defenses. That Devil and then Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles and Tower combo, all quite tough stuff to deal with. And we see the impact that that's had on in the kind of a Nine of Wands card. Usually that depicts someone who's been through a bit of a war. But because of their experience, they've built up a strong defense, and they can sense bullshit a mile away. So I suppose that's kind of the opportunity that experience brings. It's an opportunity that a lot of kind of negative experience brings is you're ready for it should it happen again, y- you're experienced. I'm not sure why it's all lovey-dovey, as I'm not usually. Oh, I'm sure that's not true. Um, Maybe it's not. I'm obviously reading that quite. I'm reading the surface level of that, but the cups isn't always about that stuff, It's about our. You look at it at a deeper level. It's the unconscious. It's the emotions are just the surface of that. But beneath that, you've got a whole host of things. But it's the deeper stuff. It's our that deep kind of a source of strength that we can draw from. Um, is the cups. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, for your Emperor and Eight of Pentacles. Okay, Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. You've got the Six of Cups. So your current phase is Six of Cups. So this could be about memory. This could be about appreciating um, just your own history, your own personal history, and a bit of a phase of reminiscing and remembering what's happened. It could also be so I like to read numerology. So sixes are like kind of a harmony. It's kind of a resolving the difficult situation that's represented by the fives. Um, so harmonizing of an imbalance, um, and the cups are um, that emotional that sort of connection. So this could be about I suppose harmonizing the emotional self. So healing the emotional self. Um, Two of Swords was your. I'm having real trouble remembering what the prompts are, which is terrible because I'm typing them out. The advice for embracing change and adapting to the wheels turning. So, depending on what deck you're using and how your Two of Swords looks, oftentimes we see someone who has their swords, and behind them we see the body of water. And I think that's important, is that the emotion is kind of a removed from the situation, and we're looking at the options logically. Um, where we're really taking the time to consider the options that we've got in front of us. Um, Rationally, and not kind of a taking the emotion out of it. I think I feel as I keep saying that tonight. It's maybe becoming more of a message for me than what it is for anyone else. And then your Nine of Cups. So opportunities that may arise from the current phase. So from your Six of Cups comes your Nine of Cups, which is quite a nice, uh, quite a nice pairing. Um, oh, the second one was the Six of Cups, right? That's fine, Robin. Marion's got to go. See you later, Marion. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, shall we move on to the fourth one? Potential challenges to be aware of. So the fourth one is going to go to the right here. Oof, I've got the tower. So there's a shit storm a brewing. Potential challenges to be aware of. So, I mean, it's natural after that devil kind of a place. When that negative energy builds up, it's only natural that at some point that's got to discharge somewhere, and that can lead to disaster. Um, so I suppose that, like, if we take it back to what I was saying at the start, if you kind of are led by fear and you stay too long in an unhealthy place, then, at some point the ego's not going to be distracted and it's going to realize what's down here, you know? And like I say, that can be an absolute disaster. So I suppose this is a caution against staying in one place too long when you know that it's not a good place to be, or when I know it's not a good place to be. Star, Ace of Swords, Empress, Knight of Pence, and the Queen of Cups. Queen Cups and Pence. So if you pull two again, have you got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles? Um, the Star, the Ace of Swords, the Emperor, and the Eight of Pentacles. So your reputation, we said that could be about, and then your two queens, potential challenges, my sister and my friend. You said. So you think that there are potential challenges you need to be aware of? Ten of Cups, Two of Wands, and Ten of Pentacles for Debbie. Okay. So I always like when the Ten of Pentacles comes up as like a potential challenge or something to be wary of. I always go back to what Rachel says in 78 Degrees of Wisdom and how she links it to the story of Odysseus. Um, and I always think like of the danger of like kind of people taking you for granted, of not appreciating the value that you bring, or of maybe just getting a bit too used to it, to a point where they don't really appreciate it anymore. So that could be something to be aware of. So with the Ace of Cups, yeah. So your Ace and your Ten of Cups, like you're creating this very kind of a safe space, Um, yeah, like the Ace of Cups is that initial energy. The Ten represents that, it's the renewal of the cycle. It's that being passed or that being used in a way where it's not just benefiting you, but it's benefiting the collective. But I suppose there is the danger there that you know people take that for granted, and they forget to be appreciative. Six of Pence challenges: beware of giving or taking too much. Okay, maybe, maybe. Um, your zodiac tarot and a tin is the one you're using, Robin. So the Six of Pentacles is a Taurus card, isn't it? I can't remember what's in Taurus though. Uh, yeah, there's always something. Depends what you know who it is that's depicted it and stuff, but there's always something that's felt a wee bit. I don't know, a wee bit icky about the Six of Pentacles. Um, just in the way that there's someone who's very clearly like considers himself as being above other people. And don't get me wrong, I know that he's helping them and stuff, and that's to be admired, but it's just always feels a wee bit hierarchical. Is that the right word? Um, and yeah, I suppose there's just something a wee bit feels a wee bit off about it to me. Um, so maybe a potential challenge there could be either the challenge where people might think that they're better than you, or potentially a bit of maybe there's a danger of getting a wee bit too big for your boots. Do you know what I mean? Um, could work both ways. Ten of Swords, and then your Six of Pence. Yeah. Or it could be exactly what you said, Robin, about taking and giving too much. Let's see, Knight of Swords for Nikki. Ten of Cups, Chariot, Two of Cups, and then Knight of Swords. Okay, so really being aware of rash decisions, I think, of trying to move quickly for the sake of moving quickly. And for this, you, you know, like that kind of a, being right for the sake of being right, or like, um, what is it? Like, for some folks, sometimes like it's more important that they come across that it's about the way they're coming across. It's more important that people think that they're right than they are actually right. Um, and sometimes the Knight of Swords can give that off a wee bit. Um, so I guess that could just be a wee bit about um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm I think I'm getting to that place. But definitely it's a caution against moving too quickly, being too rash, maybe sometimes being too harsh, but too stuck up in the facts and maybe not appreciating the emotion of the situation quite as much. Um, which is interesting when you've got such an emotional spread up to that point. Yeah, it opened like that with the two queens. Donna, Three of Wands, Loon, Pondu, Four of Swords. Ah, okay. So do we think maybe as much like it's saying like as much as it's great to have that hanged man, that moment of perspective, there's a bit of a danger of staying in the same place too long. Like let's not, you know, let's not stay in the same place too long to a point where we petrify and we forget how to adapt and how to change and how to move about. This is a spread about Jupiter after all. Three of Swords for Naomi, Six of Cups, Ace of Pence, and then the Star. So hope that things get better. But as a potential challenge, the Star's an interesting one, isn't it? So I think we talked about this last week. Um, Sometimes the Star can be about relying, it's got absolutely pitch black all of a sudden. And I know you can still see me because that light is on, but it's fine. We're almost done. Um, Sometimes that Star can be about this idea of like following the stars and looking to the stars, looking for guidance and support in an outside source. Um, I think you might have mentioned that as you were going through your spread, Naomi. I suppose just sort of the caution that might come with it is like could be about like well, you don't want to get to a point where it becomes a crutch where you rely on that, heavily rely on that. Um, yeah, that's the only thing I can think that might be as a challenge. Does anybody have any different thoughts on that? On what the star might mean as a challenge? Four of Cups. Ah, okay. So all that high mind energy might lead to kind of almost being a bit turned off by things, a bit apathetic to things. Um, the King of Pence for Clementia. Starting to feel like I'm getting bossed about by a bunch of dudes. Ah, okay. Okay. So a bit of mansplaining going on then. The Eight of Pence. Watch out for being Jack of all trades, master of none, maybe. Or getting distracted from the root intention. Stagnating energy, says Donna. Yeah, for the four. Okay. Our final card is the long-term guidance for navigating the cycles of life indicated by the Wheel of Fortune. That was a big one. Oh, Queen of Pentacles. So it feels like my two guidance cards here have been the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay. Queen of Pentacles for me is about a safe space. Queen of Cups was kind of about that safe space too, but particularly an environment, a safe space for learning, an environment for learning. And sometimes it can represent someone who kind of represents that. Um, the Queen of Pentacles. So for me, the Pentacles are about feeling safe and secure. If you think about what we think about when you know, what we use the Pentacles to represent, it's things like it's the material stuff, it's money, it's food, it's the roof over our heads. It's all the stuff that um keeps us healthy, our health as well. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Yeah. So the Pentacles for me are all about safety and security, and how we achieve that. The Queens are kind of they nurture the environment where we can, where we can they're nurturing, and they create that environment. They represent that environment where we can, I suppose, build on that element. So very simply, the Queen of Pentacles is a safe space. Um, so I suppose the simple message there could be, as long as you've got your kind of your safe space, as long as you've got your happy place, your safe space, to kind of fall back on, then you'll be able to deal with the changes that life throws at you. And that's quite true in general, but very true for me in particular. Nikki, you've got temperance. Um, so I mean balance, um, balance and equilibrium and taking the good with the bad, the ups with the downs, all that kind of a thing. And it's a card about alchemy, about bringing things together to create something new, kind of like what we talked about in that chariot card. Um, so it's interesting that you've got two cards like that actually. Funnily enough, your second card and fifth card relate quite nicely, the same way my second card and my fifth card relate quite nicely. I've got the King and the Queen of Pentacles, you've got the Chariot and the Temperance card. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Marika. Well, when you've got the Knight of Swords, be a bit more confident in my intellectual and verbal assertions. Nice. Five of Swords for Debbie. So your advice for navigating the turns of the wheel, the Five of Swords, eh? So I suppose sometimes in life someone has to. You're not always going to be the winner, right? There's not always going to be a winner. Not everyone's going to be happy all the time. Um, and sometimes being able to deal with the bullshit that life throws at you is about knowing that and not maybe not being happy with it, but being able to deal with that. You know, deal with it when it happens to you. Um, but also like um, to be able to enjoy it when you are in that winning position, I guess. When you are kind of in that different place. Yeah, knowing how to be both a good winner and a good loser, I guess. Um, because I guess just in life and with particularly when we talk about things changing and turning the wheel, there's always going to be someone who's complaining or who isn't happy. Um, so yeah, it's all about dealing with that, isn't it? So Emperor 8 pence, Queen of Cups pence, and then we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. I suppose that could be about being secure enough in yourself to know when to move on from something. Um, have that faith in yourself, and that faith in your kind of own self-awareness. To have the confidence to say, right, to know when something isn't working know when something's not working for you, and to be confident in moving on from that, and leaving it behind. Um, Naomi, the devil, don't get trapped in certain beliefs. Nice. Uh, the devil's shown up a lot today, hasn't he? So the Five of Wands. Five of Wands, kind of a competition card. Can be conflict, but also it can be healthy competition sometimes. So I suppose being able to kind of deal with that, that competitive nature of things when it does arise. Um, yeah, and the lovers. So ultimately, I think that's like um, being able to decide to choose yourself, essentially. To choose your own happiness, to be able to put yourself first. When push comes to shove, when things go tits up, you need to be able to like because there's times in life where you'll be called on to do the responsible thing, to do what's best for someone else, and to kind of to put your own interests to one side. Um, but and it's admirable and it's important to be able to do that, but also it's important to know when it's time to do that, but also when it's time to kind of look after yourself and to when to put yourself first. So I feel like that's maybe what the lovers is saying there. Marita, you've enjoyed bonding with your deck. That's good. I like to pull a card before the prompt to see how well card fulfills it. Right. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you've gotten a bit closer to your deck. My cards are all sitting wonky. What's that all about? Lots of trees. There's a tree, at least one tree in every card in this spread. So there is. But ultimately, it comes down, you know, security, and having that safe space, and those strong foundations to lean on, when needed. That's how I deal with change. I think that's quite fitting. Um, so for me, the kind of a volatile and the changing parts in my life tend to be my career, um, and the things that anchor me, the things that keep me sane, that keep me feeling safe and secure, and that leave me with at least something that where I feel happy are my husband, um, my dogs, of course, my family, my family, my home and my family. That is my safe space. So when shit hits the fan, I know that I've always got them to lean on. Um, and I think that's quite that's crucial for me. If I didn't have that, then I don't really know where I would be, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that you've actually got quite a lot out of that. I think. Um, Hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Great sip and sling. Thank you, Naomi. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. It was lovely to see you. Lovely to see everyone. Thanks very much for joining in, for being here. Had a great weekend, everyone. I'll love you and leave you. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Next week, I believe that I'm live with Simon, and we are doing Throwback Thursday, and it's Tarot of the Abyss by Anna Turian that we're looking at. So I hope that you can be there to join us, and yeah, can't wait to see you all next week. But take care, everyone. Bye bye.